Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Rashida Hilliard, the chair of the Housing Committee, and I just wanted to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. Um, so I'll actually, first of all, it's 6:30, so I'm going to officially call the meeting to order. And I'll start out by saying we follow Robert's Rules of Order in the sense that if we have many people who want to give a comment, we try to limit you to one comment, just so everyone can have a chance to speak. If you are on Zoom and you would like to speak, you can press *6 to, if you're on Zoom on your phone, I believe, and you want to speak, you press *6. And I think that's to mute yourself and unmute. And if you want to raise your hand, it's *9. But please do not quote me. If you're on the computer, you can just use the emoji, or what is it called? Like the symbols at the bottom. I think it just says we can start with raise hand. So I don't have the information before me. I just know that if you're on Zoom, you can control yourself with *6 and *9
Wait,
if you're on the phone.
it's not recording, is it? Oh, yes,
Yes,
it
it's
is.
recording. So I'm sort of speaking slowly right now as people maybe are filtering into the Zoom space. I do want to let you all know that we did have an agenda whereby we would, do the welcome and introduction of the committee members. So once again, Rashida Hilliard,
Brittany Reynoso.
and
Richard Perez.
so there are three of us here. Our vice chair, Jessica Sosa, will not be able to make it today. But we also just found out that our guest speaker will not be able to make it unless you're on the Zoom and you go by a different name. Anyone here was supposed to be a guest speaker? Okay, and just making sure. Is anyone here on behalf of the Housing and Urban Development? So if that's the case, our guest speaker, who was to be the regional administrator for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for New York and New Jersey, will not be able to make it today. We just found out. So we are not going to have our guest speaker for today. So if you are here and you wanted to ask questions to that particular individual, we will have an update as to when he will be able to return to our meetings. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay, so with that being said, I would just like to move on with the agenda. So welcome, I'll do the roll call. Starting with Rashida Hilliard here.
Brittany Reynoso here.
Richard Perez here.
And Jessica, as I mentioned, is not here, and Ingrid DeLeon is absent. So the next item on the agenda is our approval of the committee minutes. So we actually have 3 months of committee minutes to approve.
Okay.
May I have a motion for someone to, so can we do them all at once?
Yeah.
Okay, so the minutes that need to be approved are the minutes from June 23rd of 2025, September 18th, 2025, and October 27th of 2025. So, yes. You would like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion
to approve the minutes?
to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, so our minutes from June 23rd, September 18th, and October 27th are approved.
Okay.
So, I'm going to skip over, obviously, the discussion with Jason Lefbrand and the Q&A, because the Q&A was supposed to follow his discussion. So what we're going to do now is move to the item to vote in support of the resolution of the Tenants of Opportunity to Purchase Act.
Yeah.
Before we actually vote, I think it would be behoove us to know what the resolution is. So if you do not have information on it, I can read out loud. Either way, I think we should still kind of read out loud so we know what it is. So the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act, also known as TOPA, is like in a nutshell, it gives tenants the first right to purchase a property if their landlord wants to put this property on sale.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, that's it in a nutshell. And also, if the tenants do not purchase, let's say the tenants don't want to purchase, you can actually have a not-for-profit who wants to purchase. So it's either for like the tenants or a not-for-profit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is before the landlord decides to put it on the market.
Okay, so the public.
So yes, for the general public. So that's basically, I'm putting that in a nutshell. That's what it is. Before I move on, any questions on Zoom regarding TOPA or regarding anything that I just said? Okay, so I'm just going to read what we have. So the Housing Committee is calling on Bronx Community Board 8 to support the Tenants Opportunity to Purchase Act resolution. So I'll read out. So whereas 8 out of the Bronx's 12 community districts have been beleaguered by high eviction notices, rent burdened households in which a household spends more than 30% of their income on housing costs, such as rent and utilities, and other tenant-related housing concerns, which include but are not limited to dilapidated conditions and negligent landlords as of 2023. And whereas the median household income for Bronx Community Board 8 is $81,095, though approximately 35% of the population has a median household income of under $50,000, while 27% make between $50,000 and $100,000, and this is as of 2023. And I'm pretty sure it's roughly the same now, with some neighborhoods within CBA experiencing higher rates of poverty than others. And whereas 50% of renters in Bronx CBA are considered rent burden as of December 2024. And actually, the number kind of fluctuates because by, let's say, January of 2025, it's at 45%. So we'll just say between 45% and 50% of the houses are rent burdened. Either way, it's a high percentage of rent burdened households. And whereas local housing, which includes having access to affordable and accessible housing, whether they be rental properties or cooperative homes, or purchase for low and middle income individuals and families, is a concern for Community Board 8. And this is in addition, whereas the New York City's predominantly Black and Hispanic lower income neighborhoods are leading in the production of affordable housing, and whereas the Bronx is home to various districts that have produced most of the affordable housing units in 2024 in New York City, with District 8, Eric Denowitz's district ranking number 5 of the top 10. I'm saying a lot. And whereas the Tenants Opportunity to Purchase Act is a proposed law that allows tenants the opportunity to make an offer to purchase their building if the landlord decides to sell it, also known as first right of refusal. And whereas TOPA seeks to prevent the displacement of lower income tenants in New York and preserves affordable housing by providing an opportunity for tenants to form an association to work toward home ownership or remain renters in the properties in which they reside. And therefore be it resolved, the Housing Committee calls on the New York State Legislature and Governor Hochul to pass and enact the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act, sponsored by Assembly Member Martinez and Senator Myrie, or Martinez. It's Mitaynes and Senator Myrie. That's pretty much, yes. So that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I read it this week and on his way coming, so yeah.
Oh, yes. So, we can, have a discussion around that, but that's basically what we're voting on. Is to give tenants the first, right to purchase their property. And I know there was a recent, I've been looking at some articles here and there, and very recently the Post newspaper, they posted something about how this would cause New Yorkers to leave if it allows people who don't have experience, you know, make like owning up, yeah, that is going to scare people away. And of course, so you will always have some opposing sides. So if you want to think about so we know the pros that you allow people to not be displaced. They can stay in their home. I'm sure like community activists they have been rallying around like keeping these homes affordable. So we know that there are people who are in favor of this and are being thoughtful about it. On the other end, you have like developers who might say, well, hey, if we allow these people who have no experience with running a home or knowing how to manage a property, it's going to scare investors away. So our city is going to be in shambles. You have like those two extremes. That's and I'm not making this up. I'm just saying this is what I've seen. Like it just like an article just went out. We're just saying like let's allow people to have
The
a place
opportunity to
exactly.
be able to be owners, even though most of the Bronx buildings are falling apart because of their landlords,
Yeah, I
because of the
think
owners are not upkeeping it, and they are licensed as well as people who have experience long-term with buildings and they're mistreating their buildings, which we see a lot in the Bronx area. So I'm all for having new owners at least try. It's like re-giving back to your community. So why
Exactly.
not? So
But I could see the developers also saying, you know what, if I have an opportunity to buy that, then I can demolish and put up whatever type of building I would like. That's what they've been doing pretty much everywhere. Where they'll get this old property, they knock it down, they go through whatever hurdles they have to with the process, and then you have a high rise and according to them, they give an opportunity to low income, but in reality, we know that lottery is not it's not a benefit to everyone.
you're only gonna have a couple units that's gonna be affordable.
Right, so I think that's why developers might say, hey, we don't want that to happen because then that we lose that opportunity to possibly get that piece of land.
Which is something that's kind of good. Something for the
Yeah.
community needs to fight for.
I'm all for that. I think it's important because if I live in a property and I have an opportunity to buy it, that's huge, right? So.
And it wouldn't be without support. Like
Right.
Oh,
I just have two questions.
Yes.
Two questions. Where do our other two council members stand on this list? And here I would recommend putting Councilmember Eric Dinowitz.
Okay, so that I will find out where do I to.
Other
we
two
can do that
council
in our
members.
Council, so I'll put council
Eric.
member Eric Dinowitz.
Mhm.
And then
we do
because
that.
you mentioned one, because we have three, so where do our other two council members stand on this?
That's gonna be a question that I'll ask. Oh, should I answer it right now? Can I do the research?
Before you present, like by exec, because
Right,
like sometimes people always think we only have one council member and we actually have three.
right,
So that if we mention one, where do the other two stand? We need to
Right.
remind people we have three.
because then if they're like, we're opposed, we actually are against this, then that would be good to know.
Yeah, especially if one of them, I believe, is the chair of the housing.
That's.
Yeah, it's good.
Exactly.
Always check on all three.
I'll definitely do that. And I see David, is this David? Yes, David, please, yes. David, you
Hi,
can,
yes,
yes.
thank you. I didn't get to see the resolution in advance. Could you reread that one whereas with Eric, where you mentioned Eric?
Oh, that's an edit. So it says, whereas the New York City's predominantly Black and Hispanic lower income neighborhoods are leading in the production of affordable housing. And whereas the Bronx is home to various districts that have produced most of the affordable housing units in 2024 in New York City, with District 11, Councilmember Eric Dinowitz's district ranking number 5 of the top 10. That was like an addition. That was an addition. So we voted on this in June, and we now that we have new members, we thought it would behoove us to revisit this because we haven't brought it to the floor. So we thought it would behoove us to revisit the resolution and maybe add. And so in doing some research, I found that that whereas that that we lead in um like providing affordable homes for New Yorkers, or at least we are one of the districts that is not opposed to bringing affordable homes to this district. So I added that. That was
Okay.
all that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to follow it. In that, it's quite appropriate for CBA to say, we support this, etc. I'm not sure what value there is in enumerating the council member and, as Julie mentions, the other two council members. I think that the resolution should identify the Community Board 8 support, the board support for the resolution, but pointing out a council member's statistics, unless he supports it, I don't think that's a wise move. Because
Okay.
you may be putting your finger in his eye. I mean, unless you get to talk with him and get his concurrence, I would just simply say Bronx Community Board 8 supports.
And that's assuming that they do. So I should find
Well,
out.
that would be the purpose of the resolution at the board meeting.
Right.
Well, that's not stating whether he supports it or not. That's just giving statistics in his district. That's
Right.
why if you're gonna give statistics in one council member, then you give it for all.
Okay.
That's not
But
stating.
but the relevant statistic isn't the council member, it's the Community Board 8. Community
Right,
Board
that's why
8
she's gonna get the
statistics
other.
are
other-
arguably weak, and I understand that. But pointing out the councilman without running it by him and getting his concurrence, I don't think it's wise. But it's up to the committee and the board.
I mean, that's fair enough. This is our first resolution, so we appreciate any feedback from those who have experience in writing resolutions. This was an addition because we thought maybe if we had a more robust resolution that we could bring it to the floor and have more statistics. So in doing some research, that was what I came across. The truth of the matter is that TOPA, while it is an important act, it wasn't moving anywhere. And I don't even know if I have the right terminology. I'm not going to pretend to be what is it? I want to say a politician because I'm not a politician, but I don't want to pretend to be like what I'm not. But in doing some research, I saw that it hadn't really moved forward in, what is that, in the assembly? I don't even know the term, but it hadn't really moved forward. And so, I wanted to do some more research. But yeah, I
The
mean,
use of the statistic is valid as it applies across the community district, but I'm not
Right.
sure that it's valid. It's a necessarily relevant statistic for the councilman alone, or as Julie points out, all three council members.
well, I'll just check to see if it's not relevant at all, then because it was an addendum, so to speak, it can be taken out.
Well, again, that's up to the committee and the board.
And it's good to educate the board on everything, but bringing it to them.
Right. So maybe if
It would be
more-
interesting to see in each council member's area, because it's a full board. I
right.
mean, they each have, so within the full district, where exactly is affordable housing? So it's good
Right.
to see, okay,
I-
what part of the
that's fair.
area.
And you're able to
has
get
it.
all of this through this resolution, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
To be educated, you're listing facts,
Mhm.
statistics, as well as our reasoning on why we think it is a good, so. I
Yeah.
think it would be a hit.
I mean, that was one of the main reasons I wanted to see, like, we are talking about affordable homes, and actually that's going to be that's new in the news right now as well. Like this whole idea of affordable housing and if our mayor is actually going to be able to move forward with this whole
Yeah,
affordable
not
housing.
everybody's gonna be for it.
Yeah,
So exactly, so it's like, okay, it's a hot topic. We didn't necessarily know that per se when when we voted in June, we didn't know how things were going to go, but in the news right now, I mean, I think I just saw something about, like there's a debate of, oh, these affordable homes, there will be homes where they cost $0 for people, you know, it's just a lot of
Mhm.
stuff in the news right now, so, whatever statistics that we can get to support, our resolution, it would be, you know, it would be helpful.
Mhm.
But actually, I want to pose a question. If right now that was added, you know, like so today is this November 24th.
Mhm.
Our next meeting as a, for the exec is December
Third.
3rd.
Mhm.
So between now, let's say right now we vote,
Mhm.
um, are we going to vote on what I just read?
Like, can she make
Or-
edits once we all approve it?
Yeah, because you're approving it and with the condition that she
That it
finds
can
out
be
the
made.
stats on the other two council members. And then you'll bring it to the exec, like you approve it, then you bring it to exec, then the exec will definitely, you know, flush it out even more. And then she'll either bring it to the full board or bring it back to committee, listening to the suggestions that the exec makes.
Okay, that's good,
Mhm.
especially if you guys are gonna kinda move some stuff around at the
Yeah.
exec meeting, that makes
Yeah.
it better that we compact it with the information, because at some point they're gonna strip it, so.
Okay,
Because this is the resolution that you guys, the committee approved in June with this, the highlighted edits, right?
this highlight
Yeah.
was, actually, this was after June.
They're like friendly amendments to the
Yeah.
resolution. Yeah, so you just bring it to the exec and you explain it. Does Farah have a copy of this?
I don't know if she does. I think
Because
she
we-
has a copy. So this, okay, this wasn't,
Send her the resolution that you guys just voted, you voted, right?
no, so this
Okay,
is, we
finish the
haven't,
vote
yeah,
first then.
we actually haven't voted on this. This is what we're about to vote on.
Right.
But, what do you have on your page? Sorry, because I don't know, because I also bring my notes with me, like when so what they have right now is, these are the minutes from October. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have the resolution.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, Artie didn't print them because we were going to discuss it. He said, do you want me to print them? And I was like, well, we're gonna discuss it. He wanted to know if I wanted him to print the resolution, and I said, oh, no, we're going to discuss it. That's what it was. That's what it
Some
was.
people are visual,
Um,
especially on the resolution, this way they can make notes.
but I do have,
Like
like,
one copy.
yeah,
So you live and learn. Next time you'll
exactly.
have them make enough for your committee.
But this is what's on we actually also have access, so the highlighted blue was what I added on our document.
Yeah,
We have like a Google
Doc.
Doc.
Yeah.
But
that's.
Yeah,
right. So right now, when we vote,
we're just
You're
voting on.
voting on what
each
you
thing.
just read.
which is this.
Mhm.
Okay. So do we want anyone online? David, thank you for your feedback.
Surely.
Wait, what was that?
I said
okay.
surely, gladly.
Thank you. Anyone here on on the committee, would you like to add anything to what was just read? Do you need me to read it again? Any parts?
No?
No.
No, I read it already.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you need me to do anything extra?
Do you have the agenda?
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there are no further questions,
Thank you.
can I make a move to?
You make
I make a motion to vote.
Yeah,
To vote.
second it.
yeah, I second it.
Thank you. So. Okay, all those opposed, and all those opposed to the TOPA resolution? All those in favor of the TOPA resolution, please raise your hand. Aye. Okay, so anyone abstain? No. Okay. Okay, so we have 3 in favor of the 3 of us who are here. So we have a quorum. And today is Monday, November 24th, 2020. 5, and it is 6:55. So, I'll make the amendments, and we actually have a document, so we can write on the document, I believe. I mean, something like, well, the amendments that need to be made in terms of updating the stats. Am I okay with that?
You just read it, so that's what you're gonna submit to Farah.
So this thing that I'm submitting,
You'll give that to Farah and she'll make copies for the exec.
Because
Of the
we already
resolution.
Voted for it, yeah.
okay. So, thank you. With that being said, our next item on the agenda is the chair's report. Actually, I was going to say I had a chair's report, but the chair's report had to do with focus, so I don't have a chair's report. Um. The next item is old business. Any old business that we want to go over?
No,
No
I think we were
business.
doing.
Okay, any new business? Let me let this person in, where they're probably going to be here at the end. Hello, Jason? Well, okay, so we're now at, yes,
So new business?
yes.
So, I remember for our last, meeting that we all had as a board, we, someone from, I think it was Senator Jackson's.
Oh, yes, the office,
Yes, where they spoke about the Con Ed bill and that increasing. I was hoping maybe we would try to gather more information to maybe send a letter out regarding some of the changes that Con Ed wants regarding how high is everything going up, what also like more information on what does that actually do to people living in like renters, like how does that impact everyone in the community?
I think that's a good idea. Maybe, we can see, like, I'll ask Artie, because I know he's our liaison.
Yeah.
But if it turns out that is, like, there's enough information that's worthy of a meeting, maybe that person can actually speak, or be a guest speaker and talk about how this will affect homeowners, renters, people on fixed incomes, all of the different entities, because for one person, it might not mean anything, like, oh, it's all included in my package, so it doesn't matter, but for other people, this can make a big difference. And I wasn't actually there. If it was at the last meeting, I was actually at
Yeah,
yes.
Few more minutes so you
I was
could have
like,
been there.
I thought you were at intermission, but yeah, I was at the parent teacher conferences, but it would be nice to follow up because these things go into effect sooner than we have like our next meetings, and I'm just speaking in general. So changes happen to people where they have to pay more or whatever the case is, and it can happen before we have our next meeting. So I'll reach out to Artie about that. And
Yeah.
it was Senator Jackson's liaison, I guess. So.
Yes.
So I'll put that, no, thank you, that's a good idea to reach out. Was there anything that occurred at the meeting that was relevant to housing that maybe we want to follow up on besides Con Ed?
And that didn't even come up in Con Ed, that came up in like, when he
Okay.
gave his report.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
That wasn't even in the housing part.
oh, okay, but it definitely would affect,
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's going up
Right.
3%, he said every year,
okay.
Mhm.
3%
They
every.
want to develop.
But is there like do they have like a cutoff? Like is it,
Artie can get you information if anything is set,
okay,
because they may have been in discussions. So Artie can check to see if there's any hard literature on it, and then we could distribute it to.
Are we able to like do like if we do gain the information, are we able to like present it to the full board so we're all
Yes.
eligible?
You give it to the board, and also they will post it on the board's website.
Okay.
Any information for the public, we try to put everything onto the board's website.
okay, that's good to know. So I'll reach out to the party. probably, since this meeting might be shorter, then I can put an email together and schedule it to go to Artie. But yeah, so that, and I guess for me, I'll just add new business, which is sort of new, like, as things are rolling out with our mayor-elect, I'll try to keep my eye on what's going on with housing, because that was a big topic. The whole idea of, once again, affordable housing, and it would have been nice. I know we can't control what other people are doing in terms of their timelines and what comes up, but I did learn that HUD is responsible for setting the AMI, that area median income, and that's
I'm gonna do the math, okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
my understanding. So I was hoping that the regional administrator would be able to speak to that, because I'm sure he knows more than I do about HUD.
Yeah.
So that
Um,
might be good for a new business for us to get more information from HUD regarding how the map is shaped, because we do have parts where the income is completely different from the rest.
And
And that
I'm
impacts housing.
sorry to
Mhm.
no, I agree with you. I did reach out to one of my friends who uh is a mathematician, I guess you can say,
Mhm.
and she's from California. And I asked her about it, like AMI, like I get the idea, but why does this, like, if you have like set homes at a particular rate, why is this an issue? And so then I think I understood it. So of course, if you can afford the homes, it doesn't matter. Like whatever the market rate is, you're fine. If you're like on a fixed income, then you have set, like you don't pay more than,
Yeah.
but it's the people in the middle that get affected the most by these affordable properties, because the AMI is like 150,000 for one, whatever it is, like, okay, this, like, if you're in the middle, you do get hit the hardest, because you don't necessarily get subsidy or what have you. So I think that's what my understanding was. And that's why we need to adjust or think about what this AMI means for all of New York City. Although you do have very, like, ultra wealthy in New York, and you do have the extremes, but we still need to figure out, like, how do we like, how can the middle benefit from living in New York? Like, how can we stay living in New York, or whatever that middle is considered, But anyway, so I was hoping that the regional administrator will be able to speak to those issues of affordability and that AMI, but maybe we can just bring it up for the future meeting, maybe in the new year.
I don't know if you guys get the Riverdale Press, I think it was in this week's, but there's free papers outside in the hallway. And Chuck Mertler, he's our land use chairperson, probably longest board member. I believe he wrote something about affordable housing and the AMI. When you go outside, when you pass the elevators, you make a right, and there's a paper stand there.
Okay.
I think it's probably still in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna take,
That's
Give
good.
it to, because I don't get the books.
oh, that's a good idea. Oh, there's someone else. People are joining, but we're about to end, so I'm just gonna let them in. It's okay. I'll
Hello.
So hello for anyone who just joined. Just for the record, we are actually at item number 9, which is new business in our meeting. If you just joined, you might not have heard unless someone sent you messages, but our guest speaker was not able to make it. So we actually have already voted on our resolution, and now we are talking about new business. And our new business is possibly looking into the Con Ed bill hike, the rate hike. And what does that mean for anyone, whether you're a homeowner, renter, whatever it is? We just want to know what that rate, what the possible Con Ed hike might mean for people. And we also want to focus on this whole idea of affordable homes. That is a hot topic now with our current mayor, or our mayor-elect. And so we plan to keep our eye out on how this develops in the next couple of months. So is there anyone online who has any questions before we move forward? In that case, anyone here have any questions before we move forward? So we had no old business. We just spoke about new business. The chair's report, there's no chair's report. The chair's report is actually what we spoke about. So the next item on the agenda is adjournment. How can we say that it's only 7:05? No. So, someone would have to make a motion to.
I motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second, I said second.
I second. Thank you.
And so it is now 7:05, so we are officially going to adjourn this meeting, so I will stop the recording.
Have a good holiday.
Have a good
Yes.
holiday,
Happy
and you
Turkey
can
Day.
always reach out to us if you have any questions.
Rashida?
I'm here.
Yes, do me a favor, give me a call when you get a chance. It has nothing to do with CB8.
Okay, that's fine
When you
with
get a
me.
chance.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.